Hello everyone, it is me, Megamaniacs, and we live in a day where anyone can see this random LEGO Star Wars set, gray ship number 187, and be like, that is one of the worst LEGO sets ever created. I absolutely hate it. And that happens a lot of the time, and sometimes they aren't wrong, but other times it just doesn't make a lot of sense. But in today's video, we're actually going to look at some of the biggest blunders LEGO's ever made, and some goofy shenanigans that they have made in their long time of making toys. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, so stay tuned. So, the first blunder we're going to talk about, and probably the biggest oopsie LEGO's ever made, the one that almost sent them into bankruptcy. I'm not even joking, like, that one absolutely destroyed them back in the day, was the most famous one, Galidor. Now, Galidor is a really weird theme we could talk about pretty much all day, and the history around it, and why LEGO even decided to make this nightmare-fueled crap, but we can reasonably assume they wanted to get into the TV space, which is why these new toys coincided with a TV show they made. Now, I'll see if I can scour the archives and try to find this TV show. I'll interject a little segment into here, not enough for me to get copyright strike, but enough so you can see.
Or, I know, it's so cool.
Actually, it's freezing.
Oh, sorry.
Like, really, if it was there, what is that? For why? It's so confusing. This entire scene just doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's LEGO's biggest blunder, and it still pops up in my nightmares every once in a while. It really is a thing of nightmares, but honestly, that's LEGO's biggest, most well-known blunder. Everyone can agree that that is really just, like, bad in every single way, but yeah, let's just go right ahead and move on before it enters my nightmares even further than it already has. Another really big blunder of LEGO's was one that's probably gonna get me in a little bit of hot water. Chima. Now, he don't remember the scene or didn't collect LEGO when it actually happened. Chima was basically LEGO being like Ninjago, but with furries this time. Straight up, that's the entire premise of the show, and it had a bunch of toys to go along with it. Now, the Chima sets actually aren't all that bad. Unlike Galidor, those sets are actually pretty good, and they're fondly remembered by a lot of people. But from what I've seen, the show is, well, the show is definitely something. And honestly, LEGO really was just trying to recreate Ninjago for no reason. Like, why? There's a lot of other people who've given way better opinions and have talked about this in so much more detail than I could ever, but it just seems weird. Why? Literally, for why? For why? This just seems so weird. Like, why? This is one of many times LEGO tried to recreate the success of Ninjago. They even combined, like, some Ninjago aspects with the LEGO castle theme and created Nexo Nights, which was a theme that existed for like 2 days and then it disappeared off the face of the planet. Seriously, whatever happened to that? I used to see that everywhere for like a year or so, and then it just vanished. Like, what? I mean, it must have been a blunder if it just disappeared. So, I'm putting in this video. Hopefully I don't get slaughtered by the community. Yeah. But eventually, one day, LEGO would finally recreate the success of Ninjago, launching probably their best team trying to do this yet, which was Monkey Kid, which probably deserves its entire other video, which I will probably make at some point. But, yeah, again, that's a story for another day. But let's go right ahead, move on from the weird Ninjago clones, and get into probably their most obscure failure. Trust me, I had to dig into the archives to find really any info on what this was. Znap. Yeah, you probably don't know what I just said. Snap was just a really weird theme, only using technic beams. There's only like 2 images, and I only found 3 sources really covering this, which was Brick Set, Brick Fit Fantastic, I think, I don't know, if I said that wrong, it'll be a correction here, and also, a Business Insider, for some reason. Yeah, they were all covering it, and they were calling it LEGO's biggest failure yet, so obviously it fit the tone of this video. So, Znap basically was just Technic beams, and that's really it. I don't know what they were thinking, and it seems like the theme is just shrouded in complete mystery. Like, no one really knows what happened here, but from what I can see, it's just some, like, weird theme that was some goofy themes that sort of existed and then didn't. It's really weird. I would still consider Galidor way more of a failure because that almost put LEGO in the ground, but you know, this probably wasn't that far off. And finally, LEGO's weirdest blunder that really was weird and has mixed reception in the LEGO community is buildable figures. Yeah, like the Jenner so buildable figure, not those buildable figures. The Star Wars buildable figures were a really weird subgenre. And honestly, there were some good ones, like the Commander Cody buildable figure, General Grievous buildable figure, even Obi-Wan buildable figure. You know, those were pretty good. And then there was Nightmare Fuel. This is widely regarded as one of the worst things LEGO Star Wars has actually done, and I'd say it would be a pretty weird blunder, but also, it's not entirely that terrible. There are some weird inconsistencies, some like weird sets that sort of exist that people meme on all the time, and honestly, they don't even really look that great. They're just really mid, but at the end of the day, these sets never really took off, and the sub-theme was quietly ended and never seen from again. And they kind of brought it back last year with the buildable figures like the Iron Man buildable figure, Venom buildable figure, but honestly, those are so much better than the Star Wars ones. I don't know what was happening with those, but it's just so much better. Come on, guys. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. Those are my top 5 biggest blunders of LEGO. It's Mr. Top 5 video or something like that, yeah. But yeah, basically, those are the LEGO blunders, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to say here. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. See you all next time. Bye-bye.